Hello everyone. First of all, really thank you to welcome me here. It's really a great pleasure and I'm already sorry for my beautiful French accent and I will do my best to speak slowly. As you see here, at the end of the day, I was one of the advisors and I'm not a member of the French government, but more as an expert working with the government. And I think it's really the right path, how you can evolve regarding the merging between private people from universities and companies working directly with the people in the government. And it's how we started that one in France. Everything was very interesting. Everything started at the end of the day at Stanford in Palo Alto, where I met people, members of the teams of the French President, Emmanuel Macron, and we exchanged directly about the opportunities and the risk of AI, artificial intelligence, for the country, France, but not only for France, but also for the Europe. Because today France is really leading, at the end of the day, we can say the Europe globally in this field. And before starting daily, I'm working on a lot of deep learning. I would say that I'm more, maybe one of the geek guy of the presentation, really focused on this type of elements. And we started one of strategy and actions in north of France, who is Roubaix.ai. You can take a look online. It's the last one, Roubaix.ai here. It's really how we can work deeply with people to integrate people, to include people in this type of strategy. Because one of the key elements is to be sure that the technology like AI, with like electricity, will be not only in the hands of a few people, but for everyone globally. That's type of the, you've got here all the list of companies and government organizations when I'm very happy to be guest speaker or community member like AI for Humanity, NASA and European Commission, where we are working a lot to try to help people to engage more on this type of strategy. And what France started, you know, is very early. At the end of the day, it was just 10 months ago that we presented the program in France. And it was the work of maybe 2 years, 2 years working with 500 people, experts from a lot of places, people who were directly in France, but also French people living in the Bay Area, living in China, working together to try to understand what is the global view about the evolution and acceleration of AI, because there is one thing that you really need to understand. The speed of the life cycle in AI is very quick. When you are in the automotive industry, you are speaking about 8 years from a car to the new same car for the new model. In AI technology, we are thinking of quarter. How government can move at the speed of the quarter is completely incredible. In my team globally, we can completely change a lot of elements. Each quarter, we can review completely the cognitive algorithms, each quarter directly inside of our domain. And it's how we approach and how we try to explain as experts to the French government what was the speed and how the French government can really take the opportunity and define in this domain and context what can be the different opportunities and commitment, because AI is really a huge opportunity. It was Putin who said that the nation we will embrace AI technology will be the nation of tomorrow. And I think in ASEAN you really deeply understood that, because you are pretty aware about this type of technology. And you understand. And because AI technology is no more than industrialization of cognitive tasks. And when you understand that, you can implement technology like this one to accelerate the productivity. And we just saw a few minutes ago about education, how you can help people to personal tutor directly, help them to improve their skills. And based on that one, the first target of the French government was to bet on the French talent. I think today is the more difficult element in the economy of artificial intelligence. It's how you can find the right talents, how you can teach and train people to understand deeply not only how they can do math or how they can create algorithm or neural network, but how they can apply that in real life. And it's exactly where we are right now today. Today we are going slowly from the research AI domain and time to move in the time of applied AI. We want to have delivery. We want to have results. We want to have something very concrete and pragmatic to deploy for industry and to improve the productivity of everyone. But the big question is how we can do that. First one, and I think all the other speakers spoke about that one today. We really need to focus all our efforts on education. A nation who is taking care of the young people and try to train them well on math, on programming, and algorithm is a nation of the future. It's very, very important. And when I say about education, I'm not speaking only education from 5 to 18, but education during the whole life. Just think about the driver of cars. Just think about the driver of taxi. What he will arrive to them when we will be in a few years in self-driving cars, in self-driving trucks. You need to think what will be the future of the job of a medicine, a doctor, or a lawyer. All the job will be completely disrupted and think out of the box regarding what we know today. We will not have the job who will disappear, but the job will be transformed deeply. And it's why, if I can just advise to you for both type of people, young people, please go on math and please go on deep learning. It's not so hard. Don't be afraid about that. You've got a lot of frameworks and tools that you can directly use, like Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch. It's not so hard to move on that one. And the second one, for people who are more in charge of decision in company and governments, it's exactly what I said to Bruno Le Maire, who is the first minister in France. I said, you really need to have in mind that it's a domain which is moving very quickly. And you need to be aware about everything which is possible in this domain to take the right decision. Because as a government, if you are taking a bad decision, the time that you understand that you made a bad decision, it's too late. And you will be completely lost by the market. First one, in France, the government decided to create a national artificial intelligence program, ready to help universities, schools, but more than that, Pôle emploi. Pôle emploi is the government organization in charge to help people looking for jobs or recycling in jobs globally. And I'm starting to advise them on how we can use artificial intelligence to understand people and how we can help people to improve their skills. Because AI is very good, like exactly as we understood a few minutes ago, a personal tutor. The second one is the number of students trained in artificial intelligence will be double. And I think that double is already good, but not enough. And in France, we've got a huge opportunity because the schools are very good to train people at math. Don't hesitate to come at a time, just come for a quarter or maybe 6 months or a year in France as a student to go to a university, to meet people, to exchange. I think there is a lot of program to exchange students between Korea and France. Don't hesitate as a young people to advise to your kids to go at a time, to understand not only the culture, but how we approach math at a time. Today I'm living in the Bay Area in San Francisco, very near to San Francisco in California. And you will be loud because when we are meeting with people, with my colleague in deep learning AI community in the Bay Area, mostly of the time we are speaking French. And it's not a joke. My friends who are at Apple, Facebook, Google, in a small company, there is a lot of French people. I was very surprised. I met a company here working in natural language, and I understood that the chief scientist officer was French. Don't hesitate to come, to discover, and come back after in Korea and to teach all the people around you. It's a challenge of a nation to be sure that anyone can be really at the right level to understand what is happening in the field of artificial intelligence. And the last point about French talent was to allow, why not, public researchers to go and work 50% of their time in private companies. I don't know here in Korea, but in France it's a huge change. It's how we can create a smoothly relationship between private and public, and to create new product, new strategy. It's very, very important to work on the relationship of the universities and companies directly. It's why the French government decided, and we were very proud because we worked a lot to be sure that the French government can understand how it was important. And to be honest with you, I think that 1.5 billion is not yet enough. When you understand that China is spending 5 billion per year and US spending 5 billion per year too on artificial intelligence, but at the level when you are looking at spending money on AI regarding the numbers of people in the country in France, the level is good. But we need to continue to accelerate. And we cannot go against. We need to work with the both nations on AI, who are China and US. And it's why the strategy for smaller countries like France or maybe Korea and a lot of other countries is just to take the other place. Provide talents, very important. And more than that, pooling French assets. In France, you cannot imagine how many data sets we've got. Data set on a lot of elements. Transportation, environment, security, healthcare, a lot of elements. And it's like everyone working alone. Don't want to share the data. But how we can solve big issue? It's sharing the data. But not sharing for anyone so easily and not taking care about privacy. We need to take care about privacy. It's very important. People need clearly to be sure that their data are protected. And establishing an ethical framework, I think is very, very, very important. And we were so proud that the French government and the French president took a deep and strong position on that one. Said that at the end of the day, it's very important that we are taking care about the ethical approach of artificial intelligence. Because AI can be really fragmenting. And enabling AI technology without taking care about ethics is very dangerous. Imagine, just think at the time about autonomous weapons. I think that you also, maybe the video of Stuart Russell, the famous teacher at the Berkeley University. If not, just open your browser, search for autonomous weapons, you will see a video which is completely scary. And we need to have rules to manage and to guide people like us. Because it seems that we are pretty cool. You said, okay, he seems to be a very good guy, but we've got too much power. We need to define rules. And it's why we, with our community in the Bay Area and in France, we just launched what we call the Alberton Turing House. It's just a group of rules for deep learning and artificial intelligence people to help them to define what is right and what is wrong. And it's not an obligation. It's just to provide some guidance, to say, okay, that one is maybe not good exactly as we've got the Hippocratic Oath. We need to have the same one when you are with your car in the street. You've got rules to drive. We need to have the same one for artificial intelligence. And I can only recommend you at the time to go online and find the Villani report. Villani is the very famous mathematician from France, and it's the name of the report. You've got the link here directly. And you will discover the 7 points focus on the Villani report with the French humanity report. With the developing an aggressive data policy, as we understood, focus on 4 strategic sectors who are health, transport, environment, defense and security. Boosting the potential French research. As we understood, there is 700 million focus only for the research in France. Planning for the impact of AI labor. Don't forget that in a short time we will have 50% of 1 job on 2 who will be disrupted by this type of technology. We need to take care. We need to train people. We need to include everyone to be sure that we will have jobs for everyone tomorrow, because it's not a problem of jobs, it's a problem of employment. Be sure that everyone can continue to have a job. No more than that. You know, today we don't have people driving horses. We have people driving cars. Tomorrow, what we will have? People driving artificial intelligence tools. Making AI more environmentally friendly and opening the black box, I think is very important regarding the biases. And it's a big point that everyone can understand what is happening inside of the machine. And it's very complicated for the moment, but we need to work on it. And ensure that AI support include and work on the diversity. I don't know here in Korea, but in France, it's only 10% of women who are working in engineering. And I really try, and all the people really try to engage more diversity and inclusivity in AI. Thank you to everyone.